Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Marvel Studios assembled the making of Echo. This is the recent series from the end of 2023, 2024. I can't remember. I watched it, but I remember watching it over Christmas, I think. This is the making of behind the scenes. It's from 2024. It's 47 minutes long, and it gives us everything we need to know as to what went into the making of this series. This is a short series. I think it's like only 6 episodes, but it's or 5 episodes. It's only 5 episodes. Yeah. But it is unique in the sense that it is not just, did we make sure that the storyline of the characters matched up with the comics enough that it won't freak out the fans and it won't confuse the newbies? No, it wasn't just that. You had to do that a little bit. But yeah, this is a character created by David Mack for the comics, who first appeared in Daredevil way back when, which is why, he shows up. Not just in She-Hulk, he shows up here and does a little bit more Daredevil-ish stuff in this than he did in She-Hulk. And he's getting his new own series next year. Yeah, so but this one mainly, this series basically deals with the fallout of what happened in Hawkeye between Echo and the Kingpin. The Kingpin, of course, also a Daredevil villain, but not necessarily a Hawkeye villain. It doesn't really matter. What does matter is the fact that they depicted this character, this woman, in not just, hey, I'm a super villain maybe, or maybe I'm a superhero now. They portrayed her with more dimensions than just that, and she is. They had a whole lot else riding on this, in the sense that it is very much a Native American production. She's a Native American character. She's from the Choctaw Nation, and which is based out of Oklahoma-ish. It's set in Oklahoma. It's filmed in Georgia, but it's close enough. But it's not really close. But what I'm saying. They have her basically connecting literally with her ancestors in this series, and in this documentary they talk about the lengths they went through to make sure everything is as authentic as they could. They didn't just go in and say, hey, Choctaw Nation, we're going to do something with your people and making a superhero show with a character who's Choctaw, but and this is what we're going to do. Is that okay? No, they actually went in, and from what they said, I understand my cynicism, it comes in only because so many productions go in and go, hey, I think we're going to do something with Indians. And we're going to do something with the Native Americans, and then we're just going to run roughshod over anything that's authentic and do what we feel is coolest. Yeah, in this case, the Choctaw people were very much involved, had their say in how things are depicted, especially that first, the beginning of creation story, but also when it comes to traditions like the powwow and how they dress and how they speak to each other and everything else. That's one aspect, just her Native Americanness. Her Choctaw origins, but also the fact that she is deaf. Not just the character, but the actress herself. Alaqua Cox is a deaf MMA fighter. I believe that's where she came from. She came from MMA. So good in the sense of superheroing, where you already know how to throw a punch and kick and everything else, and put down Daredevil to a certain degree. Take on Daredevil. Let's just say that. Don't put down doesn't sound correct. But you're dealing with her deafness, and the fact that am I even saying that correctly? I'm sorry if I am expressing that incorrectly. But the cool part of this is that everyone who was able to, who could, were given months of training on how to speak ASL, American Sign Language. So that's kind of amazing. A lot of the people who were on cast who were deaf first stepped onto set and or to the production, went to the production and found people signing to them, and that's pretty amazing. I hope I didn't say something horrible with that, but her. And I don't even want to call it a handicap because in this case it's definitely not for the actress or the character. She deals with how the fact that she has to speak with her hands as much as with her face is actually affected how they film the normal, one shot with just a single talking head with normal just talking person is pretty much here, but very often they had to shoot much further away because again you have to incorporate the hands, otherwise you're just shooting face or shooting hands, and you can't really do that. You have to do both in order to fully get the story, and they explain that pretty well as to exactly why that's important. It may seem obvious, but I learned something that I didn't know before as to how that all works together. I do not know ASL. I know enough things to be dangerous, but I immediately forget them. Then I'm reminded, oh, I know that. And then time, or again, I don't know which hand is best. I'm left-handed, so anyway. But you also get the fact that she is an amputee. She has her leg was amputated due to something I do not know about. But she's a MMA fighter who's deaf, is Native American, and is missing a leg. Yeah, and so she has to wear a prosthetic, and it's a component of the character as well as the actress. So incorporating all these things all together is covered from top to bottom in this documentary. If you had questions as to how they were going to deal with all of this, especially the fact that she's not an actress, until Hawkeye, she was an actress before the point in which she was brought into the MCU. So she's going up against Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin, who, regardless of what you think about the the MCU, he is one of the villains that you can solidly go, that guy is depicted exactly as he should be. He's a fantastic villain and a fantastic actor, and who has done tons of stuff. She's done very little, he's done a lot, and they come together and fight it out. But we get lots of talk from all the different actors in the show, the people who created it, talking about all the different struggles as to what's involved in making this, and all the kind of unique pleasures that came out of making this. Even, it's a pandemic era show as well, so they were all struggling with that. It's the pandemic era. It's just going to be weird that we're going to be saying that for a little while and then forget that there was a pandemic era, and then we'll start it all over again. This is, if you're interested, I love these behind the scene things, and that's why I could have just said, oh, you know what, I'll watch one Marvel Studios Assembled, and I'll count it as I watched that series, one in that series. But no, this forces me to eventually watch every single one of these documentaries on every single production that comes out of Marvel. So, yeah. I was going to do it anyway, but I like that this is pushing me to do it. Whenever it comes up in the random selection, I highly recommend this for people who are big Marvel fans, are in the deaf community. There are moments in this documentary, by the way, which are completely silent. There's subtitles when Alaka is speaking, using sign language, so you can see what she's signing and you can read what she's saying, but there's not somebody coming in and overdubbing a voice for the sake of it. It becomes a dead silent moment. It's kind of cool that they even do that with a documentary. Just they have a respect for all the things they're trying to depict in this, and all the way from the Native American elements, which again, a lot of times when you hear people say, oh, we really paid attention to the Native American elements or the culture of this, the people in whatever country or land that we're filming in, and it's usually just to cover their bases, to say we were pretty crappy. But here, if we say it loud enough, maybe people will believe us. But from what I can see from the actors who were involved, they felt completely validated in this experience, and that it was actually genuine. If it turns out that one of the actors or anybody working on it was like, oh, this is complete BS, this is not, they just run roughshod over us and our culture and our people, then yeah, I don't know if I'm necessarily the venue in which you can take out your grievances, but you tell me about it. It'd be sad if that was the case, but yeah, that'd be unfortunate. But I want to definitely encourage people to watch this series, first of all, because it's a little bit of a hidden gem that, again, for a character that most people do not know. Sure, Captain America, the Hulk, Spider-Man, everybody knows those guys. It doesn't hurt to find new heroes, and somebody in a situation you might identify with, and she's just completely badass. So it's fantastic in every way. And part of me wishes that I knew enough ASL that I could have signed this entire episode. And I have a friend who does ASL, but she actually lives in Georgia, and yeah, and I wouldn't have time to get her to do this entire 11 or so minute episode. That would be awesome. Oh my gosh. Put her in a little circle down here. I'm sorry. Maybe I should, I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. If you don't see the little circle in the corner with somebody speaking for this video, well, you know I never got around to doing it. It's my fault. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 88. Feels like we had that one, but I say that all the time too. Yeah, we did. Again, yeah, we kind of did just the other day. 88. 88 was, yeah. Eyewitness D-Day. So the thing is, I mainly checked that. So I manually chose that. So it wouldn't know that it was chosen already, numerically. It's funny that would be picked like 2 or 3 days later after the actual manual selection. So we're going to just pick another number. 187. That's funny. 187. Almost 100 items later. Oh, okay. Okay, apparently we're going to be doing these films in reverse order, and we finally have a film, by the way. We haven't had a film since, like, Mom went on a date with a vampire. Well, yeah, I think that was the last one. That was a while ago. But this series of films, I think we watched the third one already. This is the second one we're going to watch, and eventually we'll get around to watching the first one. But since I would have just made a decision to watch the first one first if the third one wasn't already watched, and this is all just exposition that you don't care about. So we're going to be watching number 187, Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. Ben Stiller, Robin Williams, and a whole bunch more. Hank Azaria, I think, will also be in this one. Maybe. I don't know. Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.